Good afternoon, ladies. In your Secret Society package this month, we haven't a new baby as yet. I'll keep you posted, but we have a little baby doll. Not so much a baby doll, but a little doll. And I just thought I'd give you a few tips and hints about how to make her. It's written down beautifully, but I'm just thinking this might help you. First of all, the way we do a pattern is very different. You are going to pin the pattern, trace the pattern onto some paper, pin the pattern onto two pieces of fabric, right sides together, and then you're going to stitch on the line. Do you see that? We're going to stitch. I've reduced my stitch right down to 2, and I've stitched on the line, and that means you get a nice accurate shape, the shape that I intended you to have. And then you're just going to get a pin and scratch that line. This is for 2 legs, 2 arms and 1 body. You do the same for both of all of these. I've just cut it out so it's smaller for you. And then you're going to tear open. Oh, actually it came off beautifully. Look at that. It doesn't always come that easily. It's because I've got very small stitches. You can then keep your pattern for a later date. And now you can cut this out neatly. So we're just going to do a scant 1/4 inch. So just sort of half a 1/4 inch. You've got calico fabric, which is fine. We've tested that, it's fine in your kit. But if you were to make another doll, which you obviously have the pattern now, you can. Make sure that the fabric is quite fine, a fine weave. Otherwise, you'll find it frays badly. So just cut around there. You see nicely, and then you're just going to snip where it's necessary, and that will be just in that little heel point there, little snip, and just perhaps a little snip there. Perfect. And you're going to turn this inside out. This happens the same with the legs. Get yourself a straw, legs and arms and even your body. Put the straw inside the leg. You might have to experiment with your straws. I have got a smaller one here just in case I need a smaller one. And then with the blunt instrument, I've got a little chopstick here. Push down into the straw. Oops. Push down into the straw and roll it up over the top. You might want to dampen your fingers to do that and just ease it over. It's because it's got a little footbed in there. It's not coming as easy as I'd like it to. There you are. You just ease it over. I have got a little blunt, hopefully blunt knitting needle, so just roll it over, lick your fingers, roll over, and there you are. Beautiful. So a straw is really handy, so just always keep an eye on the straws. I've got a paper straw here, which is very pretty and lovely, but it just does collapse a bit. But you know, if you might want to keep a plastic straw just for this occasion, so just poke out all the little bits, and then you can stuff those arms and legs with a little bit of stuffing, but you only need to put a little weeny dash of stuffing at one time in. You can just poke it down in with your straw or whatever knitting needle, whatever instrument you've got. Straw's quite handy because it takes the whole lot down, like you see, and just gently stuff those. You could also use forceps. We have forceps online, and I use forceps for that. So just gently stuff your arms and legs, and of course you'll see these legs, the feet have to be painted with a Sharpie pen if you wanted to, and a little little cross stitches on for her laces there. Her body's stuffed quite firmly. You can make sure you stuff her head quite firmly, and the arms are just sewn on. You just tuck, literally tuck over the top of the arms, and just sew it on. These won't be seen, so doesn't matter what they look like, but just tuck them on, and don't stuff the top of the legs or the top of the arms. Keep them unstuffed. And then also when you've come to do your body, don't have too much stuffing in it. Says me, lots of stuffing in, but just tuck under and put your legs in. The toes can be pointed in, pointed out, and then I'd sew them in first, like that. stuffed, of course, and equal. I sew them a little running stitch along there, and then I tuck the bottom in at the back and sew them again, never to be seen. So that's her little body. Her body is quite firm, her arms and legs don't have to be so. So you need to make her dress really before you put her hair on, because she's not a dolly to be undressed, because she's got quite a lot of hair and the opening for her neck's not very big. But let me just show you how to make the dress. The bodice is got place on fold. So what I've done is got a little bit of fabric. I folded it in half and half again, and I've placed that, just neaten it up a bit. I've placed the pattern piece on the fold, both places. Give it a pin, and then I'm going to cut it out. All seam allowances have been included, but of course they're just scant 1/4 inch. Like that. And then when you open out, look at this. You have, depending on how you folded it, you have a nice little bodice that you're just going to sew the underarms right sides together. You're just going to sew the underarms for the dress. But before you do that, refold it again, or before you even unfold it, and just cut a small notch out for the neck. It is quite small on the pattern. Don't be tempted to do too big. That's a little bit too small, because it's got to go over the head. But that's why I didn't want you to put the hair on until the end. That's beautiful. And there you are. So you're just going to open it out now, and you're going to gather your bottom of the dress pieces to go to the top and bottom of the dress. Just gather these little pieces on and fold it up, and then sew all the way up both sides. Can you see that? All the way up both sides, and just snip under the arm. Do you see that? That one's not snipped. Well, that is snipped. Can you see that? I just trim that nicely, and then just snip under the arm. And when you turn her inside out, the dress inside out, and pop it on the doll, you're just going to gather the arms to fit. You can just make these little raw edges a feature. I've just slightly hemmed the dress in red. That looks really cute. So, and the neck I've gathered around. So I didn't hem it, just gathered around. So that's cute. So once your doll's dress is on, you can then deal with her hair. Her pantaloons are easy. They're fine. That's no problem for those. But just watch this. First of all, the face. You might want to practice on a little bit of calico first. You have got the doll picture, so be careful with this. So the top third of the doll, it's going to be hair. So we're just working on the bottom 2/3. You just want to put a little weeny dot where you think the mouth and eyes and nose goes, and just fill them in just slightly. Don't go overboard. Sometimes the fabrics bleed, sometimes they don't. If they do, it's a feature, which you're going to quite like. And give her a little dash of an eyebrow. I'm using Pigma Micron pens. We do sell them on the website. And a little dash for the nose. And what we can do is a little upturned mouth and a little dash underneath. Looks very nice. And perhaps a couple of little freckles, because she's a redhead after all. And then you're going to grab a little bit of lipstick, put it in the palm of your hand, rub it like this, and just rub it on her little cheeks, and that just gives her a lovely little blush. Okay, the hair. What you're going to do for the hair is you're going to take the two ends off. This is what held our parcel up for one day this month, but they were promised and they never came. But they're here now, so we won't linger on about that. Take the two paper pieces off and leave it as one whole, like this. Just leave it whole, and then undo it just so you've got all the loops correct. Try and keep this nice and neat and tidy. Okay, you want to take one length of thread out so that you can actually sew this on the doll. with that same colour hair, and you're going to take the hair and have 1 inch, which is like the size of your thumb, and you're going to stitch this on with a little back stitch. So it all looks a bit weird at the minute. I'm going to do this as neatly as I can under the circumstances. So 1 inch to one side, and you're just going to stitch this hair on. Try and make sure it's central up the top of the head. And actually you could actually make it a little bit neater than what I'm doing. I'm just doing it to show you. Keep your thread attached and perhaps pop it in her body. And open up these. I sometimes use my little needle. You want to keep this nice and neat if you've got a nice little neat hairstyle. Open up your little loop, so it's that loop you're opening up. Make sure they're all on the right side. That's not quite. And grab your thread, not your needle, and put the end of that, the other end of your skein in that loop. So it's quite important to keep this all neat and tidy. And you'll see, oh gosh, it's looking gorgeous already. If you pull it nicely, you'll get a nice little coif. Turn it around a bit. That's it. And you're going to neaten that up with just with your knitting needle or something like that. And just make sure it's all cute and neat. And she has a nice little look about her. Now this length of hair comes down the back, and that'll just be her length. So you can cut those ends in a minute. We can cut those ends, but this is what we've just got to secure this now. And don't put it too tight because it makes it a little bit bald. You can get a little bit of a glue gun. That's very nice. And you could secure it in place with the glue gun, or you can just grab your needle and thread and just secure the side. Yeah, I just sew a little bit on first so that stays in place, and then just go right across to that one. So that's secure. Bring your needle out again. Oh, that's cute. See, do you see? She looks a bit like that Scottish Prime Minister woman. Is that a good thing? I'm not sure. And then just secure one bit down the side here as well. So you're going to do the same with your needle and thread. Take it to the other side. You could secure this with glue, or I'm going to use thread. Obviously, this is, well, with a hairstyle like this, is an ornament. It's not going to take hairdressing attempts by young children, but it's sort of an ornamental doll. So do you see? I've got. Oh, she's looking a bit posh. I've secured the side. I've secured that side, and now all you have to do is cut your ends of your thread. You could plait this if you'd like to. Don't you love this? I should have been a hairdresser, shouldn't I? I'll just scoop it down like that. There she is. She needs a little bit of poking up, but beautiful, beautiful. So there's her hair. So you just keep the skein all together and just secure it with little stitches where you think you need. But you get a lovely little coiffure and long locks that fall over the shoulders if you'd like. If you'd like them to come over the shoulders. And then she would have already had her dress on, so you wouldn't have to worry. I might just put a little stitch in that little lump there as well, perhaps on the top there as well. Oh yes, that's a good place, Mandy. But there you are. So to finish off, you've just got a little scarf to put round her neck with a little button on. Her pantaloons gather around the top, and her trouser bottoms just gather around them. You can scoop them up so they're a little more pantaloony-ish, or they can be sort of legging type size. And there you are. And I would just put her on my sewing shelf and love her. Bye.